'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimbal in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mulmraths outgrabe. And that is the beginning of what inspired today's cocktail. So stick around.
If you're a theater fan who loves a great cocktail, click that subscribe button because Broadway Barfly is the channel for you.
Hello folks, Rob Driemeyer here. Welcome to Broadway Barfly. You may have recognized that opening as the first stanza of Jabberwocky, a poem written in the 1850s by Lewis Carroll. The poem became widely known when he published it in his book Through the Looking Glass, which was the sequel to his book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. It's considered a nonsense poem, and most of those words are completely made up and have no real meaning. But the poem is about the slaying of a fictional creature called the Jabberwock, and the Jabberwock is the name of the cocktail we're making today. Over the years, Carroll's stories have been musicalized and dramatized in all sorts of ways. Of course, there's the 1951 animated Disney film Alice in Wonderland, as well as the live-action Disney film that starred Johnny Depp. In the mid-1980s, there was a fever dream of a television miniseries that starred everybody under the sun, from Carol Channing to Shelley Winters, Red Buttons to Roddy McDowall. If they were somebody in 1985, they were in that miniseries. There was a Broadway musical adaptation simply titled Wonderland that had a short run in 2011. And there was also the acclaimed Grand Fork Grade School production of Alice in Wonderland, in which I gave a riveting performance as the White Rabbit. But we're not here to talk about Alice in Wonderland per se. We're here to make the Jabberwock cocktail. So let's get back to the good stuff. The Jabberwock was first published in Harry Craddock's 1930 Savoy Cocktail Book, which is a book we've been revisiting a lot here lately on Broadway Barfly. The name of the cocktail is a direct reference to the Jabberwock in the Jabberwocky poem, and we know that because Craddock put a little note on the page saying, "This will make you guile and gimbal in the wabe till brillig, all right, all right." The interesting thing about the Jabberwock cocktail is that it calls for Caperitif, which is an aromatized wine from South Africa. It was very popular in the 1930s, namely because it was used in a dozen cocktails in the Savoy Cocktail Book. But sometime in the middle of the 20th century, it was taken out of production. The reasons are unclear, but it probably had something to do with the supply chain issues during World War II. And it became what's known as a ghost ingredient. That meant it existed in these recipes on the pages of cocktail books, but it didn't exist anywhere in real life. So if you do an online search for the Jabberwock cocktail, you're going to come up with all sorts of variations, because over the years as people tried to recreate this cocktail, they had to come up with creative substitutes for the Caperitif, which wasn't available. However, we no longer have to rely on substitutes because a few years ago, Caperitif was resurrected and it's back on sale. And the Jabberwock is listed as an official cocktail on the Caperitif website. The creators of this revised version of Caperitif tell us it's a modern spin on the original, and that's mostly because there were no meaningful recipes or instructions left behind when it went out of production. So they've had to reverse engineer it by analyzing old bottles and relying on their own experience and expertise. That said, it's still probably the closest we'll ever get to the original, and it's the product that's going to get us closest to recreating these cocktails as they were originally intended. So let's get down to business and make our Jabberwock. And there we have our Jabberwock. I'm anxious to give this one a try. Well, it's quite dry, as you might expect, but that twist of lemon on top gives it a nice brightness. There are definitely floral and herbal notes from the botanicals in the Caperitif. Yeah, it's nice. Probably not for everybody. If your go-to is something really sweet, then this might not be for you. But if you like a dry cocktail, a little bitter, then this is worth checking out. I know I'm going to enjoy the rest of it. So until the next time, cheers.
If you enjoyed the video, why not give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends? Feel free to leave your comments and click that subscribe button because there's a lot more Broadway Barfly to come.